2 days before the transfer window opened, the board removed my entire transfer budget of £23 million. And they also reduced my wage budget, which meant that I was £100,000 over the budget. At the end of the transfer window, I'm facing now a player revolt. I can't help but think this game has become just one challenge after another. Let's go and kick some balls. Hello and welcome back to Norwich, part 54, season 7, in the Ferguson save, set in the future. And as you know, we only have the treble to win in the next 5 or 6 seasons in order to accomplish all the tasks that we have to achieve during the save. And we have turned things around of late. We are currently top of the league. We have overtaken Chelsea and Newcastle, and we are sitting 2 points clear. We have played 25 games, we have 56 points, and we are doing extremely well once again on the pitch. And today we will be playing 2 games. We will be away at Leicester in our first game in the Premier League, and then we will be at home to Sheffield United a couple of days later. These are both games on paper that we should be winning. Sheffield United, who are down in 11th place, and Leicester, who are in 16th, shouldn't really pose any problems for us. But I am not feeling confident because of what has been happening off the pitch, and I really don't know where to begin with that. And the transfer window has closed, and it was the strangest transfer window that I've lived through for quite a while, which has resulted in a revolt from several players. And I'm pretty sure that this is just another challenge that we have to overcome. We overcame the last challenge where we couldn't pass the ball during the early part of December. We put in some possession training into the training schedule. We seem to have overcome that, and we started playing some divine football, and the results on the pitch just followed along. But I do believe now that we have been given another test. This game has moved from being a simulation to a puzzle, and we are getting harder and harder puzzles to solve as the save goes on. But before we go into what's been happening on and off the pitch and how we intend to try and solve this latest puzzle, if you are brand new to the channel and you love FM content and you love to see people suffer playing this game, then I can tell you, you are definitely in the right place. So why not hit that subscribe button, click the bell, like, watch and comment. Help the channel to grow, help us to support the British Heart Foundation. But let's have a look at what has happened on the pitch since you were last with us. And when you were with us last time, you saw us have that 3-2 away victory against West Ham, possibly one of the most bizarre games that I've ever witnessed on FM. We were totally annihilated, yet somehow I tweaked the system about 4 or 5 times, and finally we managed to beat them by 3-2, one of the funniest games I've seen in many a year. And then we followed that with a very nice 4-2 victory at home to Fulham, and then we beat Leeds away by 3-2. And this is where things took a very bizarre turn, because in the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final, we absolutely hammered Arsenal away by 6-1. And then we followed that up with an FA Cup third round victory away at Arsenal again by 3-0. And then finally, in the 3 games we were playing against Arsenal, we drew 0-0 at home in the second leg of the Carabao Cup, putting us into the final of the Carabao Cup. And in that final, we will be playing against Chelsea. And so the season is getting hotter and hotter as we go into the second half of the season. We then followed that with a 1-0 home victory against Aston Villa. Everything in the garden was looking very rosy at the moment. And then Bayer Leverkusen away posed really no problems for us, and we beat them by 2-1. We followed that with a 1-0 away victory at Manchester United. And finally, in our last game before today, we played against Copenhagen in the Champions League group phase, and we beat them by 3-0. And what that means in the Champions League is that we finished in 4th place. So we will avoid the playoffs, and we will not be needed to play until the round of 16. That, of course, eases the pressure on the team. And that brings us to today, where we are playing away at Leicester and we will be at home to Sheffield United. Now, I can't help but wonder, given what has happened on the pitch, that although we should be winning these two games, the game has set me up with another test, and I have to pass that test, otherwise we are going to lose these games. And in order to understand what that test might be, I think probably we need to go and have a look at what happened in the transfer window. The very first thing that happened was that the board decided that they were having financial problems and they removed the £23 million transfer budget that I had. I had been looking at bringing in a couple of players, maybe letting go one or two players, including John Allen, our fullback, and I had replacements lined up. However, having lost that money, things then became a little bit tricky to navigate. They had also reduced my wage budget and I suddenly found myself £100,000 plus over the wage budget limit. I'm not quite sure that was a very nice thing to do either. But it left me in a pickle, and John Allen had come to me saying that he wanted to leave. I thought, fair enough, we'll let him leave, and so let's get that over early in the transfer window and try and recoup some money. Well, we sold him quite easily for 17.5 million. There were a lot of offers. He considered the contracts and then decided he didn't want them. And so that delayed his transfer, and as we went through the transfer window, nothing happened, and John Allen kept rejecting contracts. If John Allen had left, it would have solved the problem of the transfer budget and it would have eradicated the deficit in the wage budget. But he kept refusing contracts, but he finally did accept a contract on transfer deadline day. And so John Allen was sold very early on transfer deadline day to Sunderland for £17.5 million. This, of course, then made it very difficult to sign a replacement. We didn't get the money in for him until there were about 8 hours to go, and it became impossible then for me to sign a replacement left back. Nobody has actually come in the transfer window because of that. But 2 hours before the transfer window closed, we received a bid for Abve, and Tottenham had put in a bid. We rejected it because with 2 hours to go, it would be impossible to sign a player to replace him. And I wasn't prepared to go into the second half of the season with just two centre-backs. But unfortunately, Abve has become very distressed about this, and we have a player revolt on our hands now. He is very disappointed that he wasn't able to join Tottenham. And there are 5 people who actually agree with him that he should have been allowed to leave, all of them defenders. The problem I have with this is that when he came to me to argue his case, he said he was very disappointed because he wanted to join a team who had better players. And I'm not quite sure why the rest of the team would actually be agreeing with his grievance, because if I was a player, I'd be rather concerned about his remarks saying that we were not as good as Tottenham. I would not be on his side at all. I'd be telling him to get on with his job and stop putting me down. And this is another part of the game in the communication that doesn't seem to work. It doesn't tie up. Why would 5 players be disappointed and be supporting him when he just called them rubbish? But it is what it is, and we have to deal with this problem somehow. Now, I can't help thinking that this is another trap. And so I think what I need to do is when we approach this Leicester game, although they are posing very little threat according to my assistant manager, I think what we have to do is change our system in some way. And so I think it might be time to just change things a little bit. What I'm going to try and do, whether this is right or wrong, what I'm going to try and do is not lose the game. I think the game is planning to use the player revolt as an excuse for a poor run of form. And these next 2 games against Leicester and Sheffield United, games we should be winning, I think they're traps. And so I have changed the system. I'm going to play with a low block, and we're just going to try and frustrate Leicester and see if we can't win the game that way. The other problem that I had was that Lewis Wilden was once again out of form. He's been in dreadful form of late. So I have done what I usually do with Lewis Wilden, and I've had a quiet word in his ear and told him he's not been good enough, and as a leader he needs to be contributing more to our title challenge. He absolutely agreed with me. He said he'll deal with that and he's going to do a lot better. Let's hope he does a lot better against Leicester, because we need him to step up today. Let's go and kick some balls. And so today we have gone into this low block in an effort to try and beat the trap that I believe has been set before me as we go into this game. The other thing that I have also done is that I have tried to limit the amount of players who have sided with Abve, and 4 of those are going to be sitting this game out on the bench. And so the team for today is Gotts in goal, with Hernandez switching to right back, Reguan, Rahim and Plantier at the back, Ibaran, Kitambala and Zaprapoulis in midfield, with Puk, Maric and Wilden up front. This is going to be a doubly hard game because I have also noticed that the Leicester are actually very tired. And so not only can we not play against teams who are lower in the league than us, but we also struggle to play well against tired teams. And so I don't really know what I should be saying to them. I think I'll stick to the plan. Be patient and the result will come, because it is a patient plan, and I'll tell them I've got faith in them to carry out this plan. Wilden, I hope, will have a good game today. We've had a quiet word with him, and hopefully he'll step up to the plate and do this for us. We are playing this low block. We're going to try and play a very patient passing game. We've been passing well of late, so let's play this passing game. Let's try and get a result here, and Wilden has done the business in the first minute. He told me when I had a meeting with him, I know, boss, you're right. I really need to step up and do a little bit better. He's done it within a minute. And we have taken the lead against Leicester. It really is all about that man, his team. And he's gone and done it again. What a player he has been for me. And at the moment we are beating Leicester by a 0-0. We just need to concentrate now. Just focus on defending well, attacking well. We can win this game. Leicester are a very pacey team, and so I have to be aware that I am playing with a high line, and perhaps we'll need to drop the line a little bit. But we are conserving energy, and that's how we'll be playing in the Champions League. Anyway, this is good practice. Wilden's in again is another chance, and Maric has made it 2-0. I thought that Wilden had been fouled in the penalty area. It matters not. It ran on to Maric, and now we are 2-0 up. And what a decision to play with the low block. I just had a feeling the game was going to set me up. I'm going to have to do something different. And by going into a different style, we've completely outthought Leicester. And we are now 2 goals to the good. We just, as I said, need to control the game now, defend well, just pass it around, frustrate them, and we'll score goals. And we don't need to do anything silly, just keep doing what we're doing. Kitambala has a chance, and Kitambala has made it 3-0. He scuffed it a little bit, but it was good enough to get past the goalkeeper. 15 minutes are gone. We are 3-0 up. I think I must get Manager of the Year for absolute sure. I wasn't expecting this. I thought we might hold on, sneak one in later on, but we've absolutely destroyed them. And I do know people are talking to me about the low block. They can't get the low block to work. And I think the problem that people have is that they think you have to play with a lower line when you're using a low block. That's not the case. We're playing a low block here with a high defensive line. You can play positive. The low block just means that you're going to engage them further down the pitch. That's all it actually means. It's work to treat. We've conserved a ton of energy. Leicester started the game tired. They're going to get even more tired. They're playing a very high press, and we are going to get stronger, I think, as the game goes on. Zaprapoulis finds Maric. Maric with a poor pass that time. Wilden's looking to get on the end of it, but here come Leicester. And this is one of the problems with Leicester, is that they will use their pace. And they are going to score. It's 3-1. And their pace is going to be an issue. We are questioning for offside. I think he was onside. I think the goal will count. It is going to count. And Leicester are back in the game. And I'm going to just address that. And I'm going to just drop the line a little bit, because this is something that we need to address. And we're just going to just make sure that they are not allowed to do that. And I don't know how many times we have to watch that. We don't see my goals 4 times. What I might ask the players to do as well is to step up more and to try and just make sure the midfield can't play those passes in behind us. At the moment, it is Leicester 1, Norwich 3. It's 30 minutes gone. We're coming into the last 10 minutes of the half, and we're doing very well. But here come Leicester again. We've dropped the line, so those we should be able to cope with. Those balls over the top now, we should be able to cope with. And here's Hernandez. Hernandez finds Kitambala. Kitambala looking for Iguan. That was a poor pass, and I'm going to have to keep an eye on this passing as well, because I didn't like that pass. Here is Kitambala again, playing as a centre mid today. He's looking over the top for Wilden. Wilden has another chance. Wilden is in. Wilden's made it 4-1, and Wilden has stepped up to the plate. What a player. They are checking for offside. Could be offside. No, the goal is awarded. And Wilden has done it again. And it does every time. I know how to deal with him. Every time he's in poor form, after about 4 games, have a quiet word in his ear and he'll step up to the mark. It's Leicester 1, Norwich 4. I do also wonder how much of an effect me not playing the rebels in the camp today has had, but we are absolutely pasting Leicester at the moment. It's 4-1, and what a result this could be. And we are ahead on the scoreboard. I want to say that, but I'm going to say it's important to stay focused and keep going. You have the ability. I think it's really important that we say stay focused in this game. There's nothing that they can do, so we don't need to actually do anything in terms of our own performance, except just stay focused. And if we keep doing what we're doing, we'll win the game. Surely Leicester are not going to score 3 times. And you can see they are playing a very high press, and it is drawing them out. We should be very, very... Oh, and that was an absolutely poor pass. And right back there, Hernandez. What an absolutely dreadful pass that was. And Leicester are coming forward again. They are looking to counter-attack here. They've got themselves down the right. Ball into the centre, and it's well blocked and goes over the crossbar. I need to shout at the team and tell them to focus. This is not good enough. Leicester have come back into this game, and we need to change something, I think, before they score again. We'll wait until this highlight, and then we'll make some changes. And there's another ball through the middle, and that's a great save by Götze. I think it is now time to change the way we're playing. I think we need to do something a little bit different now. We are fit. We're much fitter than Leicester. We need to run them around a bit now. Maybe up the tempo. Leicester have made it 4-2. And I will be very distressed if they come back and make it 4-4 or win the game 5-4. But I'm going to change things up now a little bit and stop Leicester from actually getting further back into this game. Our defending has been very, very poor, and I'm not really very happy with the boys. And so we have made an awful lot of changes, and we have given a debut to young Capdevila, who is just 19 years old. He's come back from loan, and we are impressed enough with him to give him his shot in the first team. And it's nice to see we have a couple of young players who are playing in the first team squad. We've blooded Hamilton. Now Capdevila has playing in his first game. Here is Pook. Pook, though, is robbed. And Leicester suddenly look like they are the fittest team in the world. And they started the game tired. They have been run all over the pitch. And suddenly now they look like they have got energy to spare. I don't know how that works. They've made it 4-3 now. And I have a funny feeling we could lose this game. And I will not be very impressed with these boys. And I'm going to berate them. This is not good enough. They need to wake up, to buck up. This is not good enough. And we've just let the game slip away. I told them at halftime not to lose focus. They've completely lost their focus. They're not doing their jobs, and I'm not very happy with them. We need to actually get ourselves sorted out, and we need to do something a lot better. They are absolutely exhausted again, and I don't know why this happens, that against exhausted teams, we cannot beat them. We are going to hold on, though. I think it looks like we're going to hold on. We've beaten Leicester just about by 4-3. I wanted today to avoid being beaten. They weren't at their best, and I've told them that. And we have done better than that, and we have won the game. We are still on top, and we have gone 5 points clear, although Newcastle do still have a game in hand. And that is good news that we are, and Chelsea do have a game in hand as well. But that puts the pressure on them. We need to just keep going. We need to go out against Sheffield United now in the next game and make that count. It is nice to see Capdevila make his debut. He is another youngster that we've uncovered, and hopefully he will go on and have a good career for us. I need to get the team ready now for the game against Sheffield United. We'll be right back before the kickoff. And so the team for today against Sheffield United is Gotts in goal, with Avbe coming into the team at right back, Muntian, Reguan and Plantier, Pasquale, Kitambala and Thomas in midfield, Aranda, Neil and Wilden up front. I'm hoping that we can just carry on from where we left off, but not defensively. Decided to bring Avde back into the team. It's a gamble. He's not a very happy man, and so it is a gamble bringing him in at this point. But I think we need to be saying we are doing very, very well. Keep going. And I'm going to tell him I need a strong defence. And we're going to have a look at how Abve, he appeared inspired by that. We need to dominate the midfield and tell Wilden, give us the edge in attack. I've decided not to go with the low block in this one, but to attack Sheffield United. We are at home and we shouldn't be afraid of teams like Sheffield United. We should be beating them easily. And we are actually in control at the moment. We have the match momentum. We do have a free kick which is headed over the crossbar, and it remains 0-0. We're still doing extremely well in the game, but we need to get that goal. And at the moment we are still top of the league. We are playing first this week because we are playing on the Friday evening. And there's a free kick that goes over the crossbar again. And it is still Norwich 0, Sheffield United 0. We have to win this game because both Newcastle and Chelsea won their fixtures last time out. Newcastle could go top of the league if they win their game that they will play tomorrow. We are not doing very well at the moment, and the boys need to be told this. We've had all the play, and I don't like it, and I'm going to tell them I don't like it. And there's certain individuals like Wilden, Aranda, and who else is not playing very well? Plantier is not playing very well, and I've got to tell them this is absolutely not good enough. And so we have to do a lot better in the second half. We are attacking them. It was a bit of a disaster to attack Sheffield United from the start, because I don't know what to do now. And maybe just go very attacking is the only option I have left. But here's Kitambala with a free kick. He's looking to bend it round the wall, and it has hit the crossbar. Comes out to J. Neal. Comes to Plantier. Plantier, can he get a ball into the box? We should be beating this Sheffield United team. We're not at the moment. Need to make some changes. And we have made our changes, and we have given Jamie Hamilton a second game up top. Both Neil and Wilden are playing pretty poorly, and we need to actually get a result here. We're going to give Hamilton another chance, see if he can get another goal. He scored on his debut. Can he get another one? We have to play these young players now. And there's a ball through to Hamilton, and he puts it over the crossbar. That was as close as we've come. We've gone very attacking. I don't think we're going to win this. Our shots on target ratio is very low, and I don't think we can do this. But there's a good save. It comes out, and it remains 0-0. I don't think we are going to get anything out of this game. It's just we're not scoring goals, and our shots on target ratio is very poor. It's a very, very poor performance this today from the team. They have to be told that was very, very poor. And I'm not very happy about that. Unfortunately, the only stat that matters in this game is the shots on target. And we weren't getting shots on target, and so we didn't win the game. And that's all that matters. And Yes, I did slam the team. And so it wasn't the best of episodes, although we did get 4 points out of 6. I would have liked to have won both of those games. I suspect that we will drop down to second in the table now. It's going to be a busy month, but I think we will come back for the Champions League round of 16. And I think possibly even the Chelsea game. So we'll come back for the Chelsea game and the first leg of the Champions League, and we'll see how we get on in the Champions League this season. It's hotting up here. We're still in 4 competitions, and we could still win 4 competitions. And who knows what is going to happen. I do feel, though, that a period of problems is about to happen. But again, who knows? If you are brand new to the channel and you like FM content and you love to see people suffer playing this game, well, you are definitely in the right place. So why not subscribe, like, watch and comment, help the channel to grow, help us to support the British Heart Foundation. We'll keep hoping and we'll keep trying our best as we proceed through the next month. And all that remains to be said now is stay safe, and we'll see you in the next episode.